Hello everyone, it's News Roundup time. We're going to talk about some of the top news stories and take your comments on the air. So I appreciate you joining for the News Roundup. And you can write to me during the broadcast at Lookner on Twitter is where you can reach me. So I'd love to hear from you. So thanks to all of our moderators out there. We got Linda Belk moderating. Lizzie is there. Thank you. Sarah Joy is moderating. Thank you to our mods. And also we have, let's see. Just opening up all the chats here so I can see them. Here we go. And we got a bunch of viewers like Andrew Scott, John Bonning, Kevin Brines Shedman, Brian Muller, Deborah Martinez, Betty Nelson, Tony Del Monte, Dan Star Marzell, Gina Julia, Aries Pjork, and others. Victorious Jellybean and Cat Keycaps and others. Okay, I want to start by talking about what happened in Arizona earlier today, because there was just an update that came out about it, I think. I can also check the Facebook page of the police. Okay, so there was this crazy bad thing today in Arizona, in Show Low, Arizona, where a truck ran in. There was like a bike race going on and a bicycle event going on, and a truck just plowed into a bunch of bicyclists. And this says 6 injured. I've seen some different numbers, but I think this was recently updated. No, this is 7 hours ago. So they said they updated their information. I'll show you there's been some updates that came out. So hang on. Let me just get you more up-to-date stuff. But a number of cyclists were critically injured. So you can see this is Elliot Polikoff reporting this. This is like the latest update that I've heard. He posted this about 40 minutes ago. There are 10 victims in the incident, 6 transported to Summit facility, 4 in critical condition, 2 in critical but stable condition, 1 victim airlifted to Phoenix Trauma Center. Suspect is a 35-year-old Caucasian male, known locally. No confirmation of any fatalities at this time. So it's not known why this happened. Well, has not been released. The authorities haven't said anything publicly about why this happened. After the truck ran into these cyclists, then the guy left the scene, and eventually the police shot the suspect. It's very disturbing. It sounds like it was intentional. Let me show you. So this was the last summary on Facebook given by the Show Low Police Department. Vehicle versus bicyclist incident. Approximately 7:25 a.m. this morning, a black Super Duty Ford struck multiple cyclists at the 1500 block of East Deuce of Clubs during the Bike the Bluff event. The suspect then fled the scene in the vehicle. So this was at 1500 East Deuce of Clubs in Show Low, Arizona. So if we go to our maps, I think it was in front of the Home Collision Center. Where am I? Yeah, it's Horn Collision Center. So this is the street. This is the location where it happened at. Like the Arizona 77 highway, I guess. So this is where it happened. Is this 1500 here? But you can see there's actually pictures of like rescue vehicles in front of that area. Like this picture right here is from Arizona Family, and you can see these are like emergency vehicles, and that's the collision center right there. It says, I think that's the same sign as this. Yeah, it's literally in front of this building. So it happened on this road in Arizona. There was like a bicycle event going on. Okay, so at 7:25 a.m., say the police, a black Super Duty Ford struck multiple cyclists at this location. The suspect then fled the scene in the vehicle. Officers attempted to stop the suspect, which ultimately led to the suspect being shot in the area of South 3rd Drive and West Oliver. So authorities chased the suspect and ended up shooting the suspect at South 3rd and West Oliver. Oops, that's me. So what I'll do is I'll show you this. Directions. South 3rd and West Oliver. So basically the person got shot about a mile and a half away. The accident happened, well, it sounds like it wasn't an accident maybe, but the person ran into the motorcycles, into the bicycles here, and then they fled the scene, and about a mile and a half away, they got shot down here. Okay? This happened this morning. And then the police say 6 victims were transported. So we've heard 6 people in critical condition. Then there were 2 to 3 walk-in victims. Suspect is a 35-year-old Caucasian male in critical but stable. The suspect is also in critical condition. Critical but stable condition. So we have, there's no reporting yet on why this happened. No reporting on why this happened. 7:25 in the morning. I mean, you'd think if it was a genuine accident that the person would stay at the scene, right? Like if the person just lost control of their vehicle or their brakes failed, you'd think the person would just stay at the scene. But he fled the scene and ended up getting shot. Give me a shout. Let me know your thoughts on this at Lookner on Twitter. But there's still no reporting yet on why this happened. But again, Elliot Polikoff says that the suspect is known locally. You know, also you have to wonder, was the person on something? Smee, our viewer, says, doesn't sound like an accident. Mike J says the suspect must have presented deadly force to the officers. Well, the vehicle could prevent itself as a deadly weapon in the sense of using deadly force against the driver. Yeah, so we don't have details yet on how the person ended up specifically getting shot, what the specific situation was when they were chasing after him. There's actually some pictures out there of this is Elliot Polikoff. He says, some pictures from the officer-involved shooting in Show Low, Arizona that took place after a man ran into some bicyclists, I think is the way you say it. Bicyclists? I say cyclists. Cyclists early this morning in the Bike the Bluff event. So this is the area where the suspect got shot by police. It's like a residential area. So I don't know why he ended up here, or if they just, if it was sort of by an accident that he ended up here, but that's the area where he got shot. But 6 people are in critical condition. Six cyclists. There was an incident I remember, I think about 2 years ago, and I think it might have been in Massachusetts, I'm not sure, where a guy driving a truck ran into a bunch of motorcyclists and I think killed a bunch of them. And I think he was under the influence. If I can find that. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find this. In terms of the pronunciation of bicyclists or bicyclists, the definition would be, I'm looking up bicyclist. Because it's bicycle, so it would be bicyclist. That makes sense, I guess. I never say that word. I always say cyclist, not bicyclist. But that makes sense. It was in New Hampshire, one of our viewers says. Yeah, so this was, you can see here, this was back in 2019. In 2019, there was a crash that killed 7 motorcyclists in New Hampshire. This is terrible. And a pickup truck driver had told authorities that he had drug problems. He told Mass State Police after his arrest he was using 3 or 4 bags of heroin a day and had used both heroin and cocaine the morning of the crash. He felt he was okay to drive. I don't know what ended up happening in the actual... This is from April. April 2021. Truck driver and motorcycle crash appeals to New Hampshire Supreme Court. A lawyer for pickup truck charged blah, 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 blah. He faces multiple counts of negligent homicide, manslaughter, driving under the influence, and reckless conduct. He's been in jail since the crash. He pleaded not guilty. So again, I haven't done a lot of research on this, but that article said at one point he did admit having a significant drug problem and taking drugs the morning of the crash. So it looks like the court proceedings might still be going on in that. So I'm wondering, I thought of that, and I'm just wondering, could we have a situation here where the person was on something? So here's this article from Fox 10 Phoenix. Now, they say 7 critically injured, but I think one of the critically injured is the driver who got shot. But I'm not sure. Oh, is this the truck? A photo of the truck involved. Okay, I hadn't seen this. From the White Mountain Independent, Jim Headley. That's the truck that was involved. Look at this. Police did not disclose what exactly led up to the shooting. The driver was eventually shot behind an Ace Hardware. But this was like a Bike the Bluff race. So this was like a big event, I guess. Let's see if we can find a page for Bike the Bluff. Bike the Bluff. Arizona State Championship Road Race. See June 19th, 2021. Show Low, Arizona. This is race information. Okay. They have all these different classes. See, the race is different. The different classes start in the different times in the morning. Men, women, different age groups. And in terms of how many people normally race, this is the 2019 results. Now, I can't find that page anyway, so I was going to show you that. But these are some past pictures from the race. So it happened this morning. Bike the Bluff. Let me see if they have a Facebook page. This was the 2019 event. Anyways. History Underfoot says, imagine training for a race and then a guy runs the racers over. Insane. I Hear Cricket says the case of the motorcyclists who were hit in New Hampshire is still ongoing. The driver in New Hampshire had previous accidents in other states, and Massachusetts shouldn't have allowed him to drive trucks, but interstate checking wasn't done. I vaguely remember hearing something like that. I can't exactly recall, but I remember hearing something like that. Thank you, I Hear Crickets. Barbara Smith says it's very scary around here right now in Arizona. So, you know, there's no information this is related, but in Arizona a few days ago there was an incident where there was a shooting spree where a guy went around and shot a bunch of people. And so now we have, this is also in Arizona. This is in Show Low, Arizona. Show Low, Arizona, by the way, is... Hang on. This is this is eastern Arizona. You know, it's about 120 miles from Phoenix. So again, it's very disturbing, but we don't have details on why this happened. But on this street here, in front of this building, during this bike race this morning, a pickup truck plowed into a bunch of bikers, and at least six cyclists are in critical condition. I mean, and that's not, if 6 cyclists are in critical condition, right? It wasn't like a light tap that the truck, he must have really, really hit them. And I don't know what the deal is, like, was part of the road blocked off? I have to imagine if they were having a race that they blocked off part of the road. I don't know. Maybe did the person swerve across a lane? You know, don't know. Ace Ramon says, that's a U.S. Cycling Federation race. It's not a charity bike ride. It's the type of races you have to license to enter. You have to have a license to enter, and you get points toward being on the Olympic team. That's what Ace Ramon says. The Bike the Bluff. Oh, this is their page. They have USA Cycling sanctioned Arizona State Championship road race. See? So this is like a pretty serious race. Linda says, how do they even ride in that awful heat? Well, you know, I'm sure when they sign up, they must be used to it because they knew it was going to be in Arizona in June. So I'm guessing they were prepared for it. But just terrible. Oh, really quick, I want to mention this. So look, Carol Alfonso sent me this. PM breaking news, at least 2 people hit by a truck at the Stonewall Pride Parade in Wilton Manors, Florida. I saw a post about this that said that I'm going to assume, until I hear a lot more information, I'm going to assume this is an accident. Why am I going to assume it's an accident? First of all, because much more often those things are accidents than not. And second of all, because I saw a post by a local official that said the truck that hit the people had pride flags on it, unless that post has been deleted. Oh, the person deleted their post. There was a post from a local official that said the truck had pride flags on it. Now that's not there. So, again, I'll let you know more about this, but I wasn't mentioning it right now because I would say most times you hear something like this, it's just an accident. There were 2 people hit by a truck at the Stonewall Pride Parade in Wilton Manors, Florida. The truck narrowly missed U.S. Rep. Deputy Wasserman Schultz, who was participating in the parade. A driver is in custody. So I'll just have to, I'll report what I hear about it, but I think it might have been in Fort Lauderdale. Oh, what did it say, Wilton? Wilton Manors, Florida. Which is in Broward County, and it's right near Fort Lauderdale and north of Miami. Okay? Hang on a second here. Yeah, I had seen the report before I came on the air. Look, Chris Caputo, who's city commissioner. He's a city commissioner there. Now, he originally posted, and then he deleted it. He originally posted that the truck that hit the people in Florida had pride flags on it. And then he posted this, and he didn't delete this. He says it seems increasingly probable it was an accident, still filled with sadness. So he didn't delete that tweet. He's Chris Caputo, city commissioner in Wilton Manors where this happened. Oh, the crash occurred in Fort Lauderdale, says Robin Simmons. So sorry, this is a different incident than we're talking about the Florida thing right now. At a pride parade. Oh, look, see? Here, right. Wilton, Joe Rotes, WSVN. Wilton Manors City Commissioner Chris Caputo says 2 people were just struck by a truck in the pride parade, says there were pride flags on the vehicle, and it's unclear if it was intentional. This report says both victims are in critical condition. Now, the Fort Lauderdale mayor, I saw, he said it was a terror attack against the LGBT community. I would be careful about that because we have a city commissioner saying he thinks it looks like an accident. And then the article says it's not yet clear whether it was intentional. Ian Margol posted this. He said, this is believed to be the driver of the truck. He is in custody. Okay, there's the guy. You know, so you just got to be careful with this stuff because everybody wants to draw conclusions. And again, when you hear about something like this, more often than not, it's an accident. I don't know for sure what happened in this case. Hang on, there's a couple other things I want to check here. Okay, so one person died. Fort Lauderdale mayor, this is from Robin Simmons, says one person has died, expecting to hear from Fort Lauderdale police for official update. Again, the Fort Lauderdale mayor says it was intentional, but I haven't heard anybody else say it was intentional, and we saw a city official say he thought it was not intentional. Jeff says maybe we'll get a press conference. Gina Benitez says Mayor Trantalis says driver who did it tried to run but cops caught up with him. He's in custody, no word on his ID. So, okay. Let me say a quick thank you, by the way. Thank you, Barbara Smith, for your support. I appreciate that, Barbara Smith. Thank you. Thank you also, Rid Comics, for your support. I really appreciate it, Rid Comics. Thank you. Thank you, Angel Shark, for your support. Thank you very much, Angel Shark. And thank you, High Plains Drifter. So High Plains Drifter said race was for religious, charity, driver, anti. Well, so again, there's two different things we're talking about. the first thing we talked about happened this morning, where a truck rode into a bunch of cyclists at a cycling race in Arizona. Now, High Plains Drifter says race was for religious charity. I don't know that to be the case, but also it's like a big race, right? So that's Bike the Bluff. I mean, this is like it's like race in, you know, this when I look at the you know, the pages for Bike the Bluff, it doesn't look like a religious event. Now, maybe some religious charity is affiliated with this, but it just looks like the big thing you see is cycling race. So I have no idea what was involved here. But again, you know, it doesn't obviously shout out to me big religious event. But I can't specifically say. I don't know who was affiliated with this and who not. But the pages we've seen shout out to me cycling race first and foremost. But thank you, High Plains Drifter. So that's number one, where we've heard 6 cyclists, maybe 7, it's not exactly clear, are in critical condition after that in Arizona this morning, and a truck ran into them, and then the truck driver fled the scene, and then the police ended up shooting the truck driver. Then this evening at a pride parade that was going through Fort Lauderdale, a car or truck hit a couple people, and apparently one has died, according to Gina Benitez. And the Fort Lauderdale mayor thinks it was intentional, but another local official thinks it was an accident. It seems to him like it was an accident. So we're waiting to hear more from the police. So thank you again, High Plains Drifter, Angel Shark, Rid Comics, and Barbara Smith. Oh, look. The mayor says driver acted like he was part of the parade, says he was on the parade route when he was told to move up because he was next and floored the gas. That's very odd. So the mayor of Fort Lauderdale said the driver said it looked like he acted like he was on part of the parade. Says he was on the parade route when he was told to move up because he was next and floored the gas. I mean, it's very odd. Oh, it happened right before Pride Parade had started, it says, according to Gina Benitez. April says this sounds like an accident. I mean, if it was intentional, the idea is that he was acting like he was in the parade and he was told to move up because he was next and he floored the gas and hit people then? I don't know. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I don't know. Read Israel says he was wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus t-shirt. So Read Israel. Oh, that's interesting. This looks like the guy from the video we saw. It says FTGMC, I think. Let me go back to that video. Yeah, so this was this video that Ian Margol posted. Hold on a second here. Oh, look. Leiron Livingston, who's a reporter, says The Pride Parade is canceled after a driver hit 2 people. Witnesses say the driver in custody told police it was an accident. Witnesses say the driver in custody told police it was an accident. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying that's from reporter Layron Livingston, who's a reporter in Florida there. And he says witnesses say the driver in custody told police it was an accident. Okay. So there's that. And then we have Ian Margold posted this. And there is, see the shirt there? Right there. And Rita says this appears to be a Florida Gay Men's Chorus shirt. If I can find the logo. I'm not sure where the logo is. She found a logo which appeared to be the logo on the shirt. A Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus. Oh. Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus. Yes. See? As is pointed out below, who posted that original video? The person who posted the original video was Ian Margold, WPG. As pointed out below by Read Israel, the driver of the vehicle that hit people at the Pride Parade in Fort Lauderdale appears to be wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus shirt. Thank you, Read Israel. Okay. Hang on. Yeah, so look, it's we could say, you can say, well, maybe the person. We heard one report that said the driver acted like he was part of the parade. The Fort Lauderdale mayor said the driver acted like he was part of the parade, according to Gina Benitez, says he was on the parade route when he was told to move up because he was next and floored the gas. Okay? So he was acting like he was part of the parade, and he was in the parade route with his vehicle. Also, we heard that witnesses said, according to reporter Layron Livingston, witnesses said that the driver in custody told police it was an accident. And, as our viewer Rita pointed out, he seems to be wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus t-shirt. So it looks like it was either an accident. If it wasn't an accident, if it was really a hate crime, then the person, it seems, would have had to have been acting like they belonged there when they actually hated the people there, right? So, I mean, the surface evidence seems to suggest that the person was a genuine participant. So if you don't think it was an accident, I think you would think that the person was actually posing as someone who wanted to be in that community, not someone who was a genuine part of that community. So, yeah, and again, I was thinking, do I do its own stream on this? If I thought there was a good chance this was intentional, I would probably make it its own stream. To me, the evidence is heading towards accident. So I don't like being alarmist in doing a whole stream about something and implying, I think when you do a stream about it, you imply by that alone that there's a good chance it was intentional. So, I mean, the evidence to me is looking like it was an accident, but I don't know for sure. So I'm waiting to hear from the police. It was a pickup truck, again. Fox 35 Orlando says it was a pickup truck. Put it this way, the simpler explanation is that it was an accident. I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying that's the simpler explanation for everything we're seeing. Hold on a second here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I can't show it. A viewer, Jennifer, sent me a video of a person on the ground who might have been dead or seriously injured. I obviously can't show that. So we're hearing that one person died there. Hang on a second here. Yeah, two people, I guess two people were hit. Okay. Sorry, I've just been trying to kind of get updates here. All right, I'll keep an eye out on that. So again, when we first came on the air, when we first came on the air, we talked about this incident that happened this morning in Show Low, Arizona, where a pickup truck ran into a bunch of cyclists who were in a bicycle race. At least we've seen several reports that 6 cyclists are in critical condition, possibly a 7th. But it looked like around roughly 9 cyclists hurt and 6 of them in critical condition. And then the person who was driving the truck that hit the cyclist fled the scene, and about a mile and a half away, police ended up shooting that person, and he is in critical condition. It's a 35-year-old man who was driving the truck. So that was the one in Arizona. And then about an hour ago, I started seeing reports of 2 people hit at a pride parade that was, I don't think it was centered in Fort Lauderdale, but I believe the actual location of the accident was in Fort Lauderdale. And we've heard that it involved a pickup truck, and that we heard a report from a local reporter that the pickup truck was in the parade and was told to move up, and because it was on the parade route. And we also heard a report that this was just before the parade. But anyways, the truck that was in the parade, apparently, when it was told to move forward, floored the gas and hit a couple people, and one of them has died. We don't know if it's intentional, but again, one local reporter says witnesses say the person told police it was an accident. The driver, our viewer Rita spotted that the driver appeared to be wearing a Florida Gay Men's Chorus T-shirt. So, and one local official early on was saying it looked to him like it was an accident. So we don't know if it was intentional. I think the weight of evidence suggests it leans much more towards accident right now, but it's certainly unfortunate no matter what happened, and I will let you know when I hear more. Okay. By the way, one of our viewers sent me this. With reference to the Arizona incident, our viewer Melanie TWF sent me this and said this was in. Then they deleted the tweet, but I was already going to tell you about it. Melanie sent me this. This was in. When was this? Driver who killed 5 cyclists, and this was in Nevada, and this was December of last year. A truck driver who was under the influence of meth slammed into a group of cyclists in November on a Nevada highway in November and was sentenced to 40 years in prison for the New York Times. So I don't know if the person in Arizona today, the truck driver who plowed into the cyclists, was on something. This tweet is still posted. This is Chris Caputo, city commissioner in Wilton Manors, where the parade in Florida was based. And he still has this posted. He says, it seems increasingly probable it was an accident still filled with sadness. He posted this an hour ago. This is still up there. He didn't delete that one. He deleted a tweet that said the truck had pride flags on it. Okay. And then one of the viewers, I think it was Carol Alfonso, had mentioned snap maps in Wilton Manor. And hold on a second here. This happened in Fort Lauderdale, so can I find where Wilton Manors? See, there's some people who posted some videos there. I want to be careful, though. I don't want to show anybody lying on the ground or anything. No. So Wilton Manors is just north of Fort Lauderdale, but I heard that the accident, what we saw a post that said the accident was in Fort Lauderdale itself. No, the suspect in the Arizona incident where a truck plowed into a bunch of cyclists and 6 of them are in critical condition, the suspect in that got shot by police and the suspect is in critical condition. The person in the truck that ran into 2 people tonight at a Florida Pride parade has been taken into custody. Sorry, I want to read some more of your comments too. So certainly, look, thoughts with all of the cyclists who were hit this morning in Arizona, and condolences to the family of the person who died at the Pride parade who was hit by a car, and also thoughts with the other person who was hit. Oh, I guess 3 people were hit. So now again, this is from Orlando Sentinel. The Fort Lauderdale mayor, I think he should. I thought this was incredibly irresponsible of him to start just saying it was intentional. And even if there was more evidence it was intentional, the evidence to me is leaning toward it not being intentional. But I thought it was incredibly irresponsible for the Fort Lauderdale mayor to just say it was intentional. But anyways, but he did say, the Fort Lauderdale mayor, that 1 person is dead and 1 is clinging to life. A 3rd is expected to survive. So it looks like 3 people were injured. This is from Orlando Sentinel. So again, I don't know yet if it was intentional. We're waiting to hear from Fort Lauderdale police. Oh, Rita says they're going to have a presser. Yeah, I haven't heard about any time of a press conference yet. What I should do actually, though, what I'm going to do is hang on. Let me do this. That's not good. If they do a press conference and it's televised, if it's broadcast, I'll try to get you at least audio of it. I haven't heard any information on when it might be. Okay. Soma Amar says, let's hope it was just an accident. Our viewer Angela Rummel says, the driver sure wasn't paying attention, or was he? Doreen says he ran into a landscaping company. Yeah, I saw that before. Where was that? Was that in the mayor's interview? Hang on a second here. Here, what did he say? Hold on. Hang on. So Ian Margol posted this. Now, before just playing you a little, because I think the mayor of Fort Lauderdale said like the truck ended up in a landscaping company or something. But again, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale has been saying this was intentional, which I think is very irresponsible of him to say. No matter what the evidence was at the time, well, there was clearly even if there was way more evidence, I think you shouldn't be saying that until the police have looked into it and have rendered a verdict on it, on what they think happened. But especially given that we're hearing different things which suggest it might have been an accident. But that aside, so I take issue with him saying that. But he did say, I believe he said some other stuff about the incident. So let me just see here. This is, again, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale, posted by Dean Trantalis. And this is Ian Margol posted this.
What we witnessed was, as we were beginning to assemble the parade, I was walking with Congressman Ted Deutsch, and the parade had just begun. And we saw people lining up, ready to move, and then all of a sudden this white pickup truck dashed right through the crowd, barely missing Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz's car by inches, and just cut through, smashed through a gate, smashed into a landscaping company, and he hit two people on the ground.
So he said he smashed into a landscaping company. He went through a gate and into a landscaping company. So I don't know, draw your own conclusions from that, but it's not like the guy hit people and then just drove away. The car ended up going through a gate and into a landscaping company. To me, that kind of makes it sound like that's certainly consistent with an accident, although it could have been intentional. So I don't know yet. But again, I would have to. To me, the evidence is weighing much more towards accident, and that's a much simpler explanation of what happened, given what we've heard. But I don't know for sure until I want to hear what the police have to say. And then Rita sent me this too. This is another report about witnesses. We saw one report that said this. Ian Margol also says witnesses say the man in custody was saying it was an accident. So we have a couple different reports of that. It hasn't been confirmed. One report said 3 people were hit, but 2 people were definitely hit. 1 died, the other's in critical. You can see from Ian Margol. So thank you, Rita, for passing that along. C. Michelle Sparks says, agreed, need more info. Pip Tomato writes in and says, unfortunately, major bicycle accidents are more common than we think. And she sent me a link to this, which is an article from, when is this from? June. This is from 2016. In 2016 article about a incident where a man struck 9 cyclists, killing 5 of them. This was in the Atlantic. They were hit by a pickup truck. I don't know the details on this, but yeah, so. Well, but again, the Arizona situation, the guy drove away and then was shot about 1.5 miles away. Oh, by the way, thank you so much to, thank you, Gary, for writing in. I think Gary might also be someone in the chat who we read the message from before. Gary might be High Plains Drifter, but Gary says there was an article saying the Arizona bike race was fundraising for a local charity religious center. Maybe the driver was protesting such. Yeah, again, when I look at the pages for the race, it doesn't really seem like a religious event. It's certainly not advertised as such. It's advertised as a bike race. So, but I don't know what the truck driver was thinking in the morning incident. Thank you, Brandon Johnson, by the way. He says, maybe you can find it in Google Maps and see what the exact location of the landscaping location is. Well, I would need to know a little more, because if I just, Brandon, look up landscaping location in Fort Lauderdale, there's probably a bunch of them. So I'm not sure. So I could put it this way. I think we could geolocate where this was. I don't know if it really will help us understand anything. So we could go through these different pictures and try to figure out exactly where this happened, but I don't feel like the location of this is so important. It's not like, there are certain stories where the nature of the story is such that you want to see where it happened. It sounds like the parade was just starting and it was on a road. So I don't know that, I'm not hearing anything that makes me think any kind of factors about the location played a role in this. But if somebody wants to try to geolocate it, you're welcome to. But I think it would take a little while, and I'd rather not. I don't think the cost is worth the benefit, put it that way, to the broadcast. But thank you, Brandon Johnson. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Jeff says it says on the website it benefits Mount Christian School. Yeah, see, look, Bike the Bluff, stay tuned for plans, blah, 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 blah. Down here it says Bike the Bluff will ultimately help Mountain Christian School, a K-8th grade school located in Show Low. Fine. But it's certainly not, it's presented as much more of a bike race. It's not presented as a religious. That's the site. It's not presented as a religious event. Then if you look on the poster, it says state championship race, Bike the Bluff, Summit Healthcare. I don't see anything about the school on here. They have a bunch of sponsors and stuff. It's a USA Cycling, sanctioned race. USA Cycling. Brandon says, that's fair, just trying to figure out how we can figure out the accident could have happened. Yeah, so, just to show you again, we saw this before. Maybe the person just accidentally accelerated. Here, I have to make a quick AC adjustment in here, sorry. Let me do a quick AC adjustment. Gina Benitez, who's a local reporter, says the driver acted, according to the Fort Lauderdale mayor, the driver acted like he was part of the parade, says he was on the parade route when he was told to move up because he was next and poured the gas. Maybe the guy was in the parade genuinely, and he just, when he was, the parade had vehicles in it, and he just accidentally accelerated, or something went wrong with the car. I don't know, but it sounds like maybe he just accelerated when he didn't want to. Hey, thanks to our moderators, by the way. Linda Belk is there, Mark Helton, Lady Edith Shortstack, Cynthia Moon. Also, now I have too many things open on my desktop. Ellie Bourne and Papa Bear are moderating. Thank you. Give me 1 sec. Too many things open on my desktop. Dr. Singer says, so sad, condolences to the families. Helene Bemis says, so many accidents happen that way. I've had a few like that here in Connecticut, folks running into a business. On the Sidewalk guy says, witnesses in the parade say it happened on Wilton Drive. One of our, Alex says, might be consistent with someone having a seizure. It didn't seem like, I don't know if there was a health issue with the driver in the Florida crash or the Florida incident or the Arizona incident. But in the Florida incident, I mean, there's a video of him being walked to a police car, and he seems to be walking okay. John Elliott says foot might have gotten caught between gas and brake pedals. Read Israel says, I have a feeling alcohol was involved. She says drinks have been at every parade I've been in. This is Fort Lauderdale Sun Sentinel. One dead after pickup truck drives in a crowd attending Wilton Manor's LGBTQ Pride Parade. I think we basically read this article. It's the same one as in the Orlando Sentinel. There's not much in here, not much new in there. So, well, I will keep an eye out for information on both the Arizona incident and the Fort Lauderdale incident. And you can see from this video from Ian, in terms of the Fort Lauderdale incident, you can see from this video, there were cars in the parade. Oh, that's Debbie Wasserman. Is that Debbie Wasserman Schultz right there? The car says Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I think that might be her. And then that's police. They're walking the guy who, the apparent driver of the vehicle, right here. But again, as Rita pointed out, he appears to be wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus t-shirt. And apparently his car was in the parade. Oops. Denise Horton says, curious over what distance, just shows strange. Yeah, I haven't seen like any kind of video or anything showing the like where the car went from point X to point Y, that kind of thing. Reed Israel said the initial report said he was targeting her. Well, I think the mayor said that, the mayor of Fort Lauderdale. I haven't heard anyone else say that. Ernesto says, just a theory, but a hit on Debbie Wasserman Schultz by some deranged lunatic is a plausible theory. But it's just, I mean, the idea, it's a lot to swallow that somebody would get themselves a spot in the parade, in the Pride Parade, just to attempt to run their car into Debbie Wasserman Schultz's car? I mean, it's not impossible. It just seems a lot simpler. The simpler explanation is it was an accident. Linda says that looked like her hair. Beth Standard says it's her. All right, so anyways. Okay, again, I haven't seen the updates the last few minutes on that, so I'll certainly let you know when I hear more. Oh, and here's another video. Look, Carlos Suarez. Video of man under arrest after a pickup truck crashed into crowd. But again, apparently the pickup truck was part of the parade. We are waiting on a briefing from police. So again, that's another angle, same guy. But no one's saying a pickup truck came out of nowhere and rammed into the parade. A local reporter said the pickup truck was part of the parade. Jeff says police should be able to figure this one out pretty quickly. Well, first of all, if the guy was in the parade, right? If the guy was in the parade, I'm guessing other people know him. So, you know, it's possible if it was an accident, and the guy is speaking lucidly, and then they talk to people who know the guy, they might just conclude it was an accident. But we'll see. Yeah, Connie, we already reported that a person has died. Thank you, Connie. Unfortunately. We showed that report before. Hold on a second here. Anyways, Chris Caputo, who's a local official, city commissioner, still has not deleted this tweet where he said it seems increasingly probable it was an accident. Still filled with sadness. Okay. Well, yeah, not it's sad, a very sad event, as Jean says, or Jean says. Okay, so I'll let you know if I hear updates on either of those stories. Okay. Oh, I wanted to check up also. There was a report of there's been some fires going on today in like California and Utah and Oregon. I'm not aware that any of them like affected, like destroyed lots of structures, put it that way. So I was following, as I came on the air, there was one I was hearing about in Oregon. Let's see if I can remember where that one was. AI6YR had posted something about that. Klamath. Yeah, there was this April Ehrlich who posted this. She's a reporter. It was retweeted by AI6YR. Said this was like 2 hours ago. She said there's a fast-moving wildfire on Bly Mountain. This is in Oregon, in Klamath Falls. And then she said it was about 100 acres large. JPR News. It's called the Cutoff Fire. A bit of good news, the fire's currently heading east, which is basically just forest land. If it keeps heading that way, we shouldn't see initial evacuations. This is JPR News. Wildfire triggers evacuations near Bonanza in Klamath County. Bly Mountain Cutoff Road. The thing is, there's a couple pretty big towns about 20 miles away from there. There's Bly Mountain Cutoff Road in Oregon. If you zoom out, you can see it's in southern Oregon. But Klamath Falls, which is about 20 miles away, has about 20,000 people. And then there's another town, which is Altamont, which has 20,000 people. There's Altamont there, and then there's Klamath Falls here. So you wouldn't want the fire to go that way. The fire is on Bly Mountain, but I guess it's going to the east. See, Bonanza's over here. Where's Bly Mountain? Hold on. Yeah, so like these Klamath Falls and Altamont are here. The fire was over in this area, and it's not going to the west. So that's why she said, of some bit of good news, the fire's currently heading east, which is basically just forest land. If it keeps heading that way, we shouldn't see additional evacuations. So I checked, the wind was blowing to the east. See, Michelle Sparks says, better place for it. So I've been keeping an eye on the fires, but fortunately nothing has really blown up and gotten to the point where it's like, threatening lots of structures. Oh, hey, thanks, Duster Singer. That's very kind of you, Duster Singer. Duster's watching on Facebook. Really appreciate your support, Duster Singer. Thank you. Samurai Conscious says, Klamath Lake is a very notable place for its blue-green algae. Still Kicking sent me this. If you want it, there's some updated evacuation info for this cutoff fire in Klamath County, Oregon. But again, that local reporter said it's burning towards mostly forest land. So hopefully they can get a handle on this. That's from Michael Barthel there. You can go to Michael Barthel to see that. The area where the fire is happening is pretty sparsely populated. Ooh, what's this? Klamath County posted something. They cut off fires burning approximately 6 miles north of Bonanza on private and BLM lands. That's Bureau of Land Management. It was reported around 1:30 p.m. Cause under investigation. Got some evacuations. Okay, that was from 11 minutes ago from Klamath County. It said at this time, approximately 120 structures are threatened. And that's a picture of the fire that they posted. And it said 6 miles north of Bonanza. If you go over here and you go to Bonanza, roughly speaking, it's happening around here. So this is the area where it's happening, right? So it's not very, I mean, there's some buildings there, but it's not like densely settled, which is good. This is in Southern Oregon. Oh, hey, thanks, Sonic. Sonic, that's very nice of you. I appreciate that, Sonic. And thank you for shouting out the mods, Sonic. MGD says level 3 evacuation is go now. So this is from an Oregon county, Deschutes County, Oregon. At least in their county, level 3 means go evacuate now. When it said 120 structures threatened, it didn't say 120 houses. I'm guessing maybe some of those are like barns or sheds or that kind of thing. Linda Belk is wondering if the coastal flooding affected Mark Helton. If the rain coming through affected Mark Helton. I think that's what she's wondering. Hang on a second here. Well, let me just check and see where the rain is right now. So a tropical storm did form shortly before landfall, and yet the storm system is moving up right now. So in terms of where it is now, it's been dumping some rain. A bunch of it's over Alabama right now, in Georgia. Atlanta's getting some rain. This is Wonder Map that we're looking at right now. So that's where the rain is. Lil Chi says, pray no other wildfires pop up. Northern Flicker says, Oregon is the driest I've seen. Very concerned. Given the last 2 years with fire practically at my doorstep, we need rain in a bad way. Mark Helton says, all of the bad weather stayed south of me. But I'll say this, aside with this, there's this system, but after this, there's nothing right now on the National Hurricane Center isn't tracking any disturbances right now that could lead to hurricanes. I'm sure they will eventually be tracking some, but nothing nothing out there right now that they're looking at and saying this could become a hurricane. Mark said they got 6 inches of rain where he is. Oh, and in terms, if you're wondering what the wind speeds are right now, we can get that up on the screen as well. We'll go to windy, and we'll look at wind gusts, and we'll turn it on. These are temperatures. Is this? Yeah, this is reported wind. So, you have like by Atlanta Airport, 13-mile-an-hour wind gusts to 25. So it's significant. It's not crazy. Noonan, gust 22. I think there were some bigger winds earlier today. But right now, northeast Alabama, gust 28. Then down here on the panhandle of Florida, you have, this one, gust 30, Marietta Municipal Airport. I mean, the biggest gust looks like 30. It's actually, they're not even tropical storm force gusts anymore if they're not above 39. That's from windy. Oops, what did I do here? Hang on. I pushed this over. Okay. All right, so you are watching, this is our live news roundup, and if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Agenda Free TV 2. I have 2 channels on YouTube, 2 news channels. On the other platforms, it's all Agenda Free TV. So on YouTube, my main news channel is Agenda Free TV, but that's for when there's like one big breaking news story. That's this channel right here. See, it says Agenda Free TV. Here, you can, on the channels panel, you can see that the Agenda Free TV 2 is the one I'm on right now. We do live news roundups here when there's not like one big news story. So you can, if you like the coverage, you should subscribe to both Agenda Free TV and Agenda Free TV 2. And make sure you hit the subscription bell and choose the notifications bell and choose all notifications. But that's just, if you're watching on Twitter or Facebook or Twitch, then it's just all one news channel. It's just Agenda Free TV, no Agenda Free TV 2. Then also on YouTube, I do have a personal channel called Lookner, where I will do some non-news live streams. And that's only on YouTube. So if you want to see the non-news live streams, like we did one last night, you can check out the Lookner channel on YouTube. John Elliott says there were at least 2 tornadoes in Alabama. Right now, no tornado warnings. Yeah, there was some tornado damage. I saw pictures of that before. I think Weather Nation had posted some. Let's see. Can I find it? Yeah, so Weather Nation had posted this earlier. They said that this was video of apparent tornado damage in Brewton, Alabama this morning. I am in Orlando, Florida. That's where I am. And I haven't heard anything more about the Fort Lauderdale incident. So as soon as I do. Oh, and then James Spann just posted this. So there's some flooding going on in certain places. Justin Peters sent this to James Spann. Flooding in Tuscaloosa. My sister sent these at 8:09 p.m. Okay. think I want to talk about the drought stuff a little bit. Oh, Bud Green is moderating, by the way. Bud Green pointed out, somebody in Facebook said, is it normal protocol to drug test the driver? Bud said, in a case like this, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, in both the Arizona and the Fort Lauderdale incidents, I wouldn't be surprised if they drug tested the driver. Sharon K. Johnson says there was a horrific wreck on the interstate around Butler County, Alabama, a couple of hours ago. Northbound and southbound lanes were shut down. Many vehicles involved. I don't know about fatalities. Looked horrible. I think this is the one she was talking about here. Hold on. Oh, by the way, there was this. 3 injured, several homes damaged after tornado in Escambia County, Alabama. That happened today. Oh, that was the East Bruton area, it says. East Bruton area. There's ABC 33. And then I thought a multi-vehicle crash. Here it is. Multi-vehicle crash closes portion of I-65 in Butler County. I-65 was closed after a multi-vehicle wreck. That's from ABC 33. Oh, yeah, I'll mention that, Darren, about the sad case of there was a woman an American citizen who was studying in Russia, and looks like she might have been murdered. She was found dead. Yeah, I actually posted about that early this morning. U.S. woman who was former Marine found dead in Russia, suspect arrested on murder charges. She had texted her mother, I hope I'm not being abducted. I mean, it just sounds like she just got killed, sadly. American woman studying in Russia, this is ABC News. American woman studying in Russia went missing 4 days ago, has been found dead, and a man has been arrested on suspicion of her murder. A search had been underway for Catherine Seru, a 34-year-old graduate student and former Marine. She disappeared in Nizhny Novgorod, a city about 250 miles from Moscow, where she was studying at a university. She went missing after leaving her house in Bor, a suburb of the city. Her body was found Saturday. A local man born in 1977 and previously convicted of multiple serious crimes has been arrested on suspicion of abducting and murdering her. It's just very sad. She was in a law master's program. Her mother the daughter sent her a text message on Tuesday night just before she disappeared saying she was in a car with a stranger. It said, in a car with a stranger, I hope I'm not being abducted. That's the last thing she wrote. She said her daughter had been in a hurry to get to a clinic where a payment had not gone through and so had perhaps jumped into a passing car without waiting for an Uber to arrive. I think that then when she saw the person wasn't driving to the clinic but instead was driving to the forest, she panicked. I also don't know. I went to Russia years and years ago, and at that time there were people like private people. It was like an informal Uber where private people would allow you to pay them to drive you somewhere. So I wonder if that was the case there. I don't know if it was an Uber or did somebody else offer to drive her? I don't know what happened, but it sounds like she didn't know the person, at least initially. At least that's what this sounds like. So it's just very sad. Her picture is here. It's NPR. Catherine Seru. But I haven't seen any kind of evidence that there's some kind of like this is like a action involving the government or the Russian government or something. It's very sad. Smee says you have to be so careful. Duster Singer says terrible. Vampire Hunter says female takes a ride from a stranger. Yeah, so I don't know the exact circumstance, so maybe she did know the person. I don't know. There hasn't been much reporting on it. It sounds like from what we saw so far that she didn't, but I just don't know. Okay, thanks for reminding me about that. Let's see here. Sean B. Art says, never ever get into a stranger's car. History Underfoot says, I think she thought it was her Uber, but it wasn't. Look, I mean, it seemed like from the quote from the mother that maybe that happened. I don't know. I mean, maybe it did. Look, maybe she, maybe some guy pulled up and she said, are you my Uber? And he said yes, and it wasn't. The quote from the mother in the NPR article was, she had been in a hurry, so she may have jumped into a passing car without waiting for her Uber to arrive. Okay, let's next go to somebody had said, is there an update about the Oregon murder? Which Oregon murder? I don't remember. Oh, right. A person killed 3 people in Oregon. Yeah, man suspected of killings is still at large. I was trying to find a local article about it. Here it is. North Bend triple homicide suspect remains on the lam. So this guy, all right, well, this is from the Oregonian. That's the suspect. A man suspected of killing 3 people in North Bend on Friday morning before fleeing in a stolen truck remains on the run. He's considered armed and dangerous. The man is suspected of running over 2 people near a casino, killing one of them, shooting and killing someone inside a marijuana dispensary, and killing a 3rd person before stealing their truck. Looks like he ran. It says the two people struck at an RV park. It looked like a husband and wife, maybe, or brother sister. Anthony Oyster, 74, and 73-year-old Linda Oyster. The Oysters are a married couple from Florida. Then a 47-year-old was fatally shot at the cannabis shop. The man remains unidentified. Authorities found the stolen Dodge truck about noon on Friday. The truck had been set on fire. Yeah, the person's still missing. History Underfoot says, still at large, scary. By the way, Linda Belk said, did Uber drivers have to have ID? Well, in terms of what? Like that they show you? Or I'm sure to sign up you need to have an ID. You have to have a license probably. I would assume you'd have to have a license. But I don't know in Russia how it's different there. But I would think if you worked for Uber in any country, you would have to, I would think you'd have to show them your license. Macaroon Granola said, how exactly did the student in Russia who got killed, apparently, how did the student die? I've heard no reporting on how the student died. Duster Singer says, always ask who they are there to pick up. And just a little tornado update. I think there's one tornado warning right now. I just saw. It's not coming up on my. There's a tornado warning in Georgia right now. There's been some on and off during the day. Hasn't popped up on my radar scope yet. I'm sure it will shortly. But keep an eye on it. Beth points out that, like, if you take an Uber or Lyft, you do get a notification with, like, a license plate number. Also a picture of the driver. Still nothing from the Fort Lauderdale police about the truck that ran into a couple people at the Pride Parade. Again, it appears that truck, from local reporting, was part of the parade. So still waiting to hear something from I had another update to show you. We're still waiting to hear something from the Fort Lauderdale police. Let me do this. Let me do this. Hang on one sec. I want to give it a little bit of an update on that. On the outbreak, the outbreak of COVID in Manatee County, Florida. I want to do a quick update on that. So, but before I do that, hang on one second. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is hold on. We'll do. I want to talk about that, and I also want to talk about. Well, I want to talk about the drought a little bit. I got to remember that. I keep meaning to talk about the drought. You guys keep bringing that up. So I wanted to talk about the drought a little bit too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 1-minute break. Give me 1 minute. I'm coming right back, and then we'll talk about the drought and get an update on the outbreak in Manatee County, Florida, and some other stuff. Okay, we're back. Northern Flicker says drought is very, very bad. Northern Flicker, there's been about the press conference. There hasn't been any press conference in Fort Lauderdale yet. So it's when there is one, we'll at least get the information from it, but nothing yet. So Quake Country mentioned that PM Breaking News posted about this. Quake Country sent me this. PM Breaking News said that there's firefighters are battling a fire near Resorts World in Las Vegas. Kind of looks like maybe it's some kind of structure under construction or something near Hilton Resorts World. So I'll do a check on it. It doesn't look like a casino is burning or something. Near Resorts World. 8 News Now. Fire near Resorts World. Crews on scene of fire near Resorts World. Not at Resorts World. I guess I don't even know what Resorts World is. It's like a hotel. Resorts World. Resorts World Las Vegas is a luxury hotel. Ooh, did it just finish? What is this? Resorts World Vegas. Is there a Wikipedia site? So look at this. It opened in 2020. It just opened. Oh no, it's about to open. Oh, Resorts World is a hotel and casino that's under construction. That's supposed to open in like a week. It says opening date June 24th. In 5 days. So there's a fire near this new hotel and casino. Not at the hotel and casino. It said near the hotel and casino, near Resorts World. So maybe this is related to the construction. EPAN says it's opening next week. Aries says hopefully people are evacuated. Well, I don't know that. I assume nobody's staying there. And then this is Circus right here. That's interesting. Hang on. Just looking for any updates on it. Hey, maybe somebody's posting on SnapMap about it. Resorts World, hold on, look at this. This is, what is this? Reporter with 8 News Now, Madison Kimbrough, says fire at Resorts World parking garage. The fire is contained and did not spread. There you go. So this was a fire at the parking garage. Looks like it's under construction, kind of, doesn't it? If this is the parking garage at Resorts World. Clark County Fire says 38 personnel responded to the flames. Fortunately, the fire is contained and did not spread. There you go. She just posted that 2 minutes ago. Okay. So that's that. And then yeah. By the way, let me just remind you, PM Breaking News is not one of these accounts. But there are a number of accounts out there on social media, specifically on Twitter, that will post stuff and make it sound more disastrous or more bad than it actually is. So someone just sent me in a message that claimed the fire was spreading. Well, it's not spreading. It's contained. This is a local reporter saying it's contained. So, be careful out there with these accounts that just make things sound like a big emergency. Hey, thanks, Gringo. I appreciate that, Gringo. Thank you, Gringo. Much appreciated. MGD says, nice to have some good news. I guess about the fire being contained. Sandy's app says Resorts World is to open next week. You can give me a shout with your comments at Lookner on Twitter. Oh, hold on a second. I got to time somebody out in a second. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. How do I undo this? Okay, I unbanned. Okay. But what I can do is this. There we go. No, what I do is how do I do this? There I think I just did it. I got it. There, that's it. Somebody's misbehaving in the Twitch chat. I was trying to custom set the timeout length. I figured it out. What is this? Hold on a second here. Yes, RZ says I figured it out exactly. So I have 9 million things open here. Not 9 million, but too many things are open. So I need to get fewer things open. I want to show you this update from this outbreak in Manatee County. So Manatee County in Florida, that includes Bradenton. It's near St. Petersburg in Tampa. They had a significant outbreak of COVID in the IT department in the county government, where 2 members of the IT staff in their 50s died, and 3 others were hospitalized. 3 people in the IT staff were hospitalized. What you can see here is they came out with a press release today, and in the press release, it's not worded particularly well, but they appear to say that the people who got cases were only not vaccinated people. County Administrator Dr. Scott Hope said an internal examination of the COVID cases among the county's workforce over the past week impacted only people who were not vaccinated. I think what they meant to say is not that the examination impacted, but that the cases that the virus impacted. If you actually read it, it doesn't. It's like confusing because the way it should be worded, and I think this is what they intended it to say, is said an internal examination of the COVID cases among the county's workforce showed that the outbreak impacted only people who are not vaccinated. So this appears to say that the only people who got sick were the people who are not vaccinated. It also says. He said individual employees in the IT department who were known to be fully vaccinated and who were in close proximity to those who were infected did not contract COVID. So when we were talking about this yesterday, I know some people were wondering, like, well, what was the vaccination status of the people who got COVID? So this seems to say that the people who got sick weren't vaccinated and that the people who were vaccinated didn't get sick, which is what you'd expect to happen if we're talking about serious illness or death. But that was just posted today. That's from the county. So I wanted to update you on that. Starfire says, sad that they died. Yeah, it's terrible. I wonder if there's updates here about the outbreak. This is the Bradenton. Oh, they shouldn't. I understand why they do it. Bradenton Herald is under. Hang on. Let's see if I can do this. Hang on. Hang on 1 second here. Huh? Oh, I think I got it. Hang on. Give me 1 sec here. Here we go. So this is today's story from the Bradenton Herald about the Manatee County outbreak. Hope said an internal examination of the outbreak in the county's IT department affected only non-vaccinated employees. The employees who had been vaccinated did not get the virus, Hope said. And this was they don't go into specifics in this article. They did yesterday, but 2 members of the 2 IT workers died and 3 were hospitalized. Yeah, see, this says 2 people have died. A COVID outbreak in Manatee County that killed 2 IT staffers and hospitalized 3 others. They shut down the county administration building yesterday early. All 5 who contracted the virus were known not to be vaccinated and had a sore throat as their initial primary complaint. Both staffers who died, a man and the woman, were in their 50s. Those who were hospitalized were as young as their late 30s. So really, really terrible. And it's not clear what strain the people had. It seems to me like they very well might have had the Delta variant, but I don't know. Yes, Aries, you still can get the virus if you're fully vaccinated. It's just you're a lot less likely to get sick and die if you've been fully vaccinated. David says, what makes this COVID incident newsworthy? This happens all over the country. Oh, no, that you have now. I mean, this is 5 people out of an IT department where it sounds like not that many people work there. And it sounds like maybe a few other people work in the department, where 2 died and 3 went to the hospital, and then the county government had to close their building early and tell everybody to leave. That's not happening every day. So at least now, I mean, now that we're well past the time where any adult who wanted a vaccination can get one. And it's happening when this Delta variant, which was originally prominent in India, which spreads a lot faster apparently than previous variants, and is possibly more harmful, is getting more prominent in the U.S. That's what makes this newsworthy. It's because you wonder, is this, one thing you wonder is this the Delta variant, and are we going to start seeing more of these kind of outbreaks, localized outbreaks among unvaccinated people throughout the U.S.? But these days, I mean, lately, since a lot more people started getting vaccinated, you have not heard about many things like this, with 5 people in the same small department hospitalized and 2 of them dying. So I think it is an important story. So thoughts with the people who are hospitalized, and I hope they recover, and condolences to the families of the 2 people who died. I hope nobody else gets it there. Oh, look, guys. Look, the flag had a pride flag on it. Look. Ian Margol. Here is our first look at the truck that hit at least 2 people at the Pride Parade in Wilton Manors City. Maybe it was in Wilton Manors. It was, one report said that the accident happened in Fort Lauderdale. Wilton Manors is north of Fort Lauderdale, so maybe it actually happened in Wilton Manors. I've covered up the license plates. So look, it looks like there was a pride flag on the car. Again, the car was reportedly part of the parade. There's a local reporter who said she reported that the car was part of the parade, and it sped up all of a sudden and hit people. And remember also, there's a bunch of reporting that says that the person driving said it was an accident. And, as our viewer Rita pointed out, the person driving appeared to be wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus shirt. So that's a picture of the truck from Ian Margol. I want to go back and read some comments about, some people made some comments about the story about the outbreak in Manatee County. I want to go back to that. Chris, I don't know if anybody else was in the truck with him. I don't know if there was other people in the truck. That has not been reported. So I'll read some of the comments people posted in a second about the outbreak. Excuse me. On the sidewalk guy says, I'd say it was an accident too if I were one trying to get away with the crime. Look, again, is it possible that a person in the parade with a truck with a pride flag on it and wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Health Corps shirt, is it possible that that person was just posing as a gay man who wanted to be at the parade in order to carry out an attack? It's possible. It seems a much simpler and more likely explanation that something went wrong with his car or his driving, and he genuinely was part of the community and did want to be in the parade. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the authorities say. Maddie Maggs thinks alcohol was involved. So we'll have to wait. I mean, we're waiting to hear more from the police. By the way, Rita said she found an interview in which a guy says the gentleman was older and he thinks the driver panicked, pressed the gas, thinking it was the brake, and then hit it again by accident. May want to listen. I can't show that, but maybe I'll check it out in a second. Hang on a second here. It's like 5 minutes long. It's Wilton Community News. I'm not familiar with that. I don't know what Wilton Community News is. That like a local news site on Facebook? You can go to Wilton. I don't know what Wilton Community News is. It says News Media Company on Facebook, and they have a couple thousand followers. So if you want to go watch that, go to Wilton Community News. Let me just really quick see. Hold on. I just want to summarize. Sorry. So, the problem is it's like a 5-minute interview. So part of me wants to listen, but I don't want to sit here. I don't want to take 5 minutes and listen while you're while you're waiting for me to listen. So again, Rita's Real says she watched it, and the guy says, now the guy doesn't know for a fact, but he says the gentleman was older, and he thinks the driver panicked, pressed the gas, thinking it was the brake, and then hit it again by accident. So anyways, you can go watch that at Wilton Community News on Facebook, because I can't show their video. But thank you, Rita. I appreciate it. History Underfoot thinks it was an accident. Hey, just to go back, first of all, let me say a quick thanks to Jacqueline Morgan. I really appreciate your support, Jacqueline Morgan, and thanks for thanking out the mods, Jacqueline. She says, get those Cliff Bars. I'm good right now. I ate right before the stream. Thank you. And also thank you, Gringo. Hey, I appreciate that, Gringo. Thank you so much, Gringo, for your support as well. Thank you. Kimberly Barr says, as a retired insurance adjuster, I had a few claims over the course of 35 years with people hitting the gas instead of the brake. Insurance covered it. I remember there was a thing a couple of years ago at the Santa Monica Farmers Market where an older person drove through the farmers market, and I think it was just an act, like they pressed the wrong pedal. Look, yes, Santa Monica Farmers Market crash. In 2003, 86-year-old George Weller drove his car. His car struck actually, maybe it's not a gas pedal thing. His car struck a Mercedes-Benz, then accelerated around a road closure sign and crashed through wooden sandwich sawhorses and plowed through the busy marketplace crowd, traveling nearly 300 meters at speeds between 40 and 60 miles an hour. It took at least 10 seconds. 10 people got killed and 70 injured. Weller told investigators he had accidentally placed his foot on the accelerator pedal instead of the brake, then tried to brake but could not stop. He had a lack of remorse, which was a central issue for the families of the victims. Some observers questioned Weller's account. Numerous witnesses and victims reported. They did not see brake lights on his car, some victims. Weller angrily yelled from his car, "Get out of the way," as he hit pedestrians, for example. So I'm not sure. He was found guilty of 10 counts of vehicular manslaughter. So it looked. So I haven't read this whole thing, but it looks like there were questions about his account of claiming that he hit the wrong pedal. This is a terrible accident. He died at the age of 94. So, anyways, I wasn't familiar with all the updates about that. You can read more about that at Santa Monica Farmers Market. Santa Monica Farmers Market crash. Yeah, MGD says, shocking, it was 18 years ago. Chris Lund says, having phones and everything else to distract us certainly doesn't help. Yeah, as for the guy today, we'll wait and see what the police say about that. Oh, see, look, say Rita's real. Rita's real. Your scoop was confirmed. Ian Margol, the man taken into custody at today's Pride Parade in Wilton Manor City after his truck hit a couple people, was wearing a Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus t-shirt. Witnesses say he was saying to the Fort Lauderdale PD it was an accident. You were right, Rita. I mean, in the video of him, he didn't seem like he was 90 years old. He was like a bald guy. He didn't seem like he was 90, though. I mean, if you told me he was, I don't know. It was hard to say how old he was, but he certainly didn't look like he was 80 or 90. Oh, really quick, just to go back, a couple people had comments about the outbreak in Manatee County. So I want to just read a couple comments about that. Linda Belk said she hopes this outbreak in Manatee County, Florida is an isolated incident. See if I can find the comments. I know some people posted stuff about this. Let's see here. The Lucky Blackbird said, "Who knew vaccination prevents serious illness and death? Say it louder for the people in the back." Letter Artist, our viewer Letter Artist says, "I'm surprised the county didn't require the employees to be vaccinated." I wonder if the state would allow them that in Florida. I'm guessing if DeSantis has a say in it, he would not allow them to do that. But I don't know legally how that works. If you're a county, are you allowed to do that? Jacqueline Morgan thought the guy the driver in Fort Lauderdale in the South Florida crash looked like he was in his 60s. Oh, look at this. By the way, see, Grant Stern. Grant Stern says, now I don't know who Grant Stern is. He says, so this is unconfirmed. This is unconfirmed. But Greg Angel, who I follow, retweeted Grant Stern. I'm not familiar with Grant Stern. What he said, though, is a video of a performance last night by the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus seems to confirm that the guy is a member of the group. So I haven't seen it, but this is an unconfirmed report that there's a video of the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus that shows the driver from today who hit the people at the Pride Parade and was wearing the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus shirt. This report says there's a video of him last night singing with the group, but I haven't seen the video yet. Hedge Enemy says Grant Stern is an independent Florida journalist. So we'll see if the if that video comes out. On the Sidewalk guy says the driver in custody appears to be photographed on the Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus website. However, this can't be independently confirmed. Maddie Mag says DeSantis issued an order concerning vaccine mandates. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I just don't know the specifics of it and if it would prevent a county from requiring, employees to get vaccinated. I just don't know. I don't want to speak on it without knowing the specifics. I will say, if you go to Fort Lauderdale Gay Men's Chorus, I can't play these on the air, but they do have some videos up. So maybe somebody found him in one of the videos. Let's see. I'm not going to show it on the air. Can't tell. I'd have to look through and everything. But maybe somebody found a video that looked just like him. Chris Lund says, regardless of an accident or not, will he still be charged for involuntary something since someone died? It's a good question because it's just a legal question. I don't know the law there. Oh, our viewer consultant, I don't want to show this on the air because I don't know that it's him. Consultant sent a photo from a video that she says looks like the guy singing with the chorus. But again, I don't want to show it on the air because I'm not sure it's him. Thank you. Oh, look, guys, here you go. The official said the driver, breaking news. A senior official briefed on the incident tells Jim DeFeed the initial indications are that this was an accident. There you go. Look, that's from CBS Miami. And a senior official briefed on the incident tells DeFeed, who's a reporter, Jim DeFeed, that initial indications are that this was an accident. The official said the driver told police that his foot was stuck between the gas pedal and the brake, causing him to lose control of the truck. So this is CBS Miami saying a senior official briefed on the incident tells one of their reporters that the initial indications are that this was an accident. The official said the driver told police his foot was stuck between the gas pedal and the brake, causing him to lose control of the truck. I agree, Northern Flicker. I was just thinking that myself. If the police really think that it was an accident, are we going to hear from the mayor of Fort Lauderdale? Is he going to say, "Oh, sorry, I said it was intentional"? By the way, this doesn't just say this doesn't just say, well, the person said it was an accident. If what the official is saying here is that no, we really do think it was an accident. If the officials thought that the driver was lying, they wouldn't say this. Rita's Real said she thought somebody say this above somewhere in the comments. Again, I don't know if that's what happened, but that's coming from CBS Miami. Linda says, I'm glad it wasn't on purpose. If this is correct, I'm still very sad. Yeah, it's still terrible. Here's the article. Look. 1 dead, 2 hospitalized after truck slams into spectators at Pride Parade in Florida. Blah, 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 blah. A senior official briefed on the incident tells CBS 4 the initial indications are that this was an accident. The driver of the truck is telling police his foot was stuck between the gas pedal and the brake, causing him to lose control of the truck. The official also warned that the investigation is in its early stages and more information is likely to emerge. Hey, I've been saying all along the evidence suggested it was an accident. So this is not surprising to me. It's still a terrible incident, though. Beth says, curious to see what shoes he was wearing. Doreen says, how does your foot get stuck? April Coco says, I know DeFeed, he's a good reporter. Yeah, I've seen reporting he's done. He seems reliable to me, Jim DeFeed. See, Michelle Sparks says, I'm really worried about Alabama, Florida, and Louisiana getting hit with this Delta variant. Oh. John Curry, I almost hid you. Mark hid you. That's fine. Mark did it. Mark, the hiding is fine. I'm fine with that hide for John Curry. He deserved it after that. John Elliott says, probably wearing sandals. Okay, I think the last thing I want to do is, I mentioned the drought As crazy as this sounds, I'd like to at least do a short Lookner stream tonight. So I don't want to go on too long here unless there's like bigger news. But let me really quick, I saw a couple drought articles and I wanted to look at this one. You can look at the whole thing if you'd like, but I wanted to check out this. Let me really quick though, see one other thing. KJW says, who said it wasn't intentional? The mayor of Fort Lauderdale said it was intentional. He said it was a terror attack right when it happened, right after it happened, which he shouldn't have done. Even if it turned out to be intentional, he shouldn't have done it with what evidence was out there. But it's looking like it's going towards accident. Soin says accidents do happen. That's a bad one, obviously, if it was an accident. No, Danny Solomon, I posted a tweet before from a Las Vegas reporter who said that fire was in the parking garage of that new resort hotel, whatever it's called, and that the fire was under control. Sandy Zapp said Las Vegas emergency incident website. Last comment 5 minutes ago said it was a dumpster behind the building. Anyways, so there was that one tweet I showed, which a reporter was saying it was in the garage, and that it was under control. So unless I hear something otherwise, I'm going to assume it's under control. Duster says outbreaks of COVID bad in India, Brazil. Yeah, the Brazil numbers are really not good right now. Maybe we'll talk about that on a future stream. Okay, really quick. So I'm guessing you'll be seeing more reporting on this, but this was just a story about the drought, severe heat and drought, the hallmarks of a changing West. Talks about water shortages. I haven't even looked at this. I just wanted to see if it kind of summed up the drought stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Washington Post. Much of the American West, from parched Northern California through Arizona and New Mexico, is drying out at a record pace. The onset of this severe drought was far quicker than previous ones, the result of a meager Sierra Nevada snowpack and early seasonal heat that evaporated the runoff needed to fill the reservoirs and rivers. This year has been different from previous ones. Only 20% of the expected runoff from an already well below average snowpack arrived in reservoirs. The rest evaporated during the unseasonably warm spring. That's interesting. So the warm weather in the spring helped evaporate water that normally would go to the reservoirs. More than half of the western United States is in the grips of extreme or exceptional drought, indicating widespread water shortages and major impacts on crops and pasture. In California, Arizona, and Utah, the period between June 2020 and May 2021 has been the driest ever recorded. Okay. Just going through here, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, there's a whole article here. You can check it out. This is in the Washington Post. Severe heat and drought, the hallmarks of a changing West. Sarah Joy said, we literally had no rain this winter. I assume she's out there somewhere. Then this was an article, the shocking numbers behind the Lake Mead drought crisis. This is a CNN article. The U.S.'s largest reservoir is draining rapidly. Lake Mead on Wednesday registered its lowest level on record since the reservoir was filled in the 1930s. It is a Colorado River reservoir just east of Las Vegas on the Nevada-Arizona border. It's poised to become the focal point of one of the country's most significant climate crises, water shortages in the West. Millions of people will be affected in the coming years and decades by the Colorado River shortage alone, researchers say. Lake Mead is around 143 feet below full, a deficit roughly the height of the Statue of Liberty. Every day for the past 8 days has been a record as rapid evaporation and human use siphon water from the reservoir. The lake has fallen 143 feet below its 2000 level when it was last considered full. What's left is a bathtub ring of white minerals as tall as the Statue of Liberty along the lake's deep shoreline. So this is 143 feet. This is like, it looks small, but see, that's like a boat. I think that might be a big boat. This is like a 14-story building here. Like, I think that's a pretty big boat. That's the scale you're looking at. The height of the ring in June was roughly the size of the Statue of Liberty without its base. 25 million people rely on Lake Mead water. And this is the levels at Lake Mead since 1970. Hoover Dam power generation. Hoover Dam is next to Lake Mead. Is down 25% due to low water levels. Wow. If the lake loses another 175 feet, water will no longer flow through the Hoover Dam and produce power. 90% of Las Vegas's water comes from Lake Mead. That's interesting. You can read more about that at CNN, the shocking numbers behind the Lake Mead drought crisis. Madison says, so concerning. Aries says, wow. Chris Lund says, goodness. Oh, the before and after picture, right. 2000 and 2020. How do I do this? That shows you how, I guess, that's an overhead shot. That's 2000, 2020. Lady Edith says, this is such a big story. The princess says, farmers here have had to burn some of their crops in order to have water for the more important ones. I'm sure we will have restrictions this summer. Sonic says, if anyone is interested, find a recent photo of bathtub rings on Lake Mead showing how low it is. Kimberly Barr says we could see significant cost increases in the cost of fruit and vegetables grown in California. Okay, let's see here. Maddie Mag says that Lake Mead article is scary. Shaggy Two Fang says the first thing America will have to give up is its nuts. By that he means, he says, almonds use a ton of water to grow. Nicolette Geese says 4 inches of rain in Arizona in the whole year. Hang on one second here. Gina Benitez says, Fort Lauderdale police say they are looking into all possibilities about the accident. They did not confirm this was intentional. Well, it seems like it's leaning towards not being intentional. They also haven't said whether they believe it was an accident. CBS Miami is saying an official source tells them that it's looking like an accident. We talked about that a little while ago. By the way, BNO Newsroom says daily coronavirus deaths in the U.S. dropped to 299 on average, lowest since March 28, 2020. PM Breaking News says fire continues to burn near Resorts World in Las Vegas. Now, hold on a second here. But Vital Vegas posted that 36 minutes ago, Ketty Vegas said it's over. Vital Vegas, which I think they have 90,000 followers. They said everything's cool at Resorts World. Lay down yard, not the parking garage, minimal damage. So I don't know what video PM posted, but it looks... We had a local reporter already said it was under control, and then this is like a half an hour ago, and there's all these fire engines there. That's from Vital Vegas. Excuse me. Yeah, this was about an hour ago. Madison Kimbrough says, Clark County Fire said the fire is contained and did not spread. Okay. Okay, here's what I think I would like to do. I would like to actually do at least a short stream on Lookner channel tonight. So I should probably wrap this up. I don't really have any other big stories to talk about here. I think we got to the main ones of the day. So I have, in addition to my news, so this is on YouTube, this is Agenda Free TV 2. I have 2 news channels on YouTube. The main one is Agenda Free TV. On the other platforms, if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, it's just Agenda Free TV. You're watching there. So if you like this coverage, if you like this live news coverage, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, just know that my main channel is called Agenda Free TV with no 2 on it. So you might want to subscribe there. That's where we cover like big single news events. And then also on YouTube, I have a channel, a personal channel called Lookner, where I do some live streams that aren't about the news. And so I think what I'm going to do is wrap this up and take just a short break, and then we'll do at least maybe a brief stream on Lookner after this. So that's where that will be. So subscribe to the channels, and if you subscribe to any of them on YouTube, click the notifications bell and choose all notifications. So I appreciate you joining this live stream. And special thanks for all of your comments and questions, which are in news tips, which are an important part of these news roundups. And we even had Rita's Reel scoop everyone with her spotting the T-shirt. So good job, Rita's Reel. But again, thank you for watching this, and a huge thanks to our moderators, because they are awesome. They're all volunteers. They're always in the chat. So huge thanks to the moderators: Linda Belk, Sarah Joy, Mark Helton, Lady Edith. Thank you, moderators. Lizzie, and Maddie Maggs, Ellie Bourne, Papa Bear, Bud Green. Shout out to them. Riff Tracks. And hey, thanks to everybody who donated too. That's really kind of you. You are the ones who let me do this full time. So I very much appreciate your support. You can donate at agendafree.tv if you feel like donating, agendafree.tv. But thank you so much. Oh, I owe somebody a thank you. Melanie Murphy. Thank you so much, Melanie. Melanie sent me a tweet, and then she deleted it. She said, "Sorry about deleting my tweet to you. It appeared you'd moved on to another topic." Well, I got to see it anyway, so good. Thank you, Melanie, for the tweet, and also for the donation. That's very kind of you, Melanie Murphy. Thank you. Okay, and Rita's Reel said her brother is the one who recognized the logo when we started sleuthing. Good job, Rita's brother. So after I wrap up the stream and I take a little short break, then we'll do a stream a late stream on Lookner channel. That's what we'll do. We'll be over there, Lookner channel on YouTube, unless there's some huge news that comes up. And if, by the way, the Discord chat, if you like chatting with other viewers, you can do that in the Discord chat. Also, a great thing about the Discord is if you sign up, whether you chat or not, you get the best notifications when I'm coming on the air on any of my channels. And if you put the Discord app on your phone like I do, the notifications pop up on your phone, which is cool. So check out the Discord chat. The link is at the bottom of the YouTube video description, and our mods can also post that link as well. And also, if anybody out there is interested in being a volunteer moderator, that would be fantastic. We could always use more moderators. If you have any interest in that, ask the mods and they can give you more information. There's an email to write about on Facebook. There's an email. We could especially use some more Facebook moderators. So if any of our Facebook regulars feel like they might want to try moderating, you can email the address I just posted in the chat. Oh, thank you, Rita's Reel, for the donation and for the sleuthing. Thank you, Rita's Reel. Much appreciated, Rita's Reel. Okay, thanks to the viewers. We have viewers like Nicolette Geese, Sandy Zapp, Danny Solomon, Tammy Waterford, James, Urasan David, Duster Singer, Soma Amar. They were all watching on Facebook. Doreen Weir, Angela Runnels, Betty Nelson, Nancy Brisk, and others. Thank you for watching there. Thanks for watching on Twitch. X Ice Cold, Cosmic Star Dream, Sea Swigum, Shaggy, Ralph Machio, Haltux, On the Sidewalk Guy, and others watching over there on Twitch. Thanks for watching there. Oh, Hetty Silovitz. Hey, thanks for the donation, Hetty. That's very kind of you. Really appreciate it. Hetty. Very nice of you. Okay, and also thanks to our YouTube viewers, people like Rita Israel, Madison, Andre Vandal, I Am Good at Madden, Mantronics, Smee, WTX Railfan, Alessandra Vergano, Darth Tater, Strange Reverend, Deborah Jacobs, Francis Agnes, WTX Railfan, I think I said that already, Nunzi, Fat Vegan, Sean B. Art, Darth Tater, Strange Reverend, Baby Shark, Mystic Marble, Linda Nelson, Denise Horton, Laura Chase, Dave, April Coco, Marzell, Lucky Blackbird, Hedge Enemy, and everybody else watching there in YouTube. All right, guys, so I'm wrapping up this live stream, but I will be, if there's not big news tonight, in a little bit I'll be over on the Lookner channel, Lookner, on YouTube, and we'll do a live stream there, a non-news live stream. And also, for news updates, be sure to follow me on Twitter, at Lookner on Twitter, is where you can follow me. And as we said earlier, certainly, thoughts with all the people injured in that terrible incident in Arizona where the truck hit the cyclist, and also condolences to the family of the person who died in the, looks like it's an accident, but we're not sure. But the incident in Florida at the Pride Parade there, and thoughts with those who were injured in that. Okay, that is it for now. So I'll keep an eye on the news. I'm sure we'll be streaming more news soon. But we will see you soon. Oh, and thank you, Charles Goki. Hey, that's very kind of you, Charles. Charles Goki, thanks so much for your support. Thank you, Charles. Thanks for the sticker, too. Okay, so I'm sure we'll be streaming more news soon. So thanks for watching, and we will see you soon with more live coverage, live news coverage here at Agenda Free TV and Agenda Free TV 2.